Two Point Hospital is a game that probably went under a lot of people's radar this summer, but I feel it certainly deserves a moment to shine. The game is another in a line of spiritual successors or sequels that attempt to bring back an older style of game. In this case, it's a successor to 1997's Theme Hospital developed by Bullfrog Studios. The aim was to build and manage your own hospital with a dark comedic twist, featuring silly made-up diseases and conditions with a witty tone towards the idea of preserving life and good health. And now featuring some of the same developers behind Theme Hospital, 2 Point Hospital brilliantly carries on, improving on some aspects and yet still retaining some of the same flaws. The thing that strikes you right off the bat is that if you have played Theme Hospital, you will be able to get into this game straight away with no problem. Mainly because it plays more or less the same, build your hospital, hire your staff, manage both them and the patients, trying to level up your hospital by satisfying and curing patients, upping your reputation, keeping staff happy through training and promotion, maintaining your hospital's cleanliness, hygiene and attractiveness, all while trying to make a profit. Simply put, if you've played Theme Hospital, the gameplay will come easily to you, and you'll be able to notice some of the improvements that have been made as well. Building rooms and designing a hospital is just as fun as it ever was, and is only made better by the increased customization you have. And this comes in the form of more customizable room shape, each room having its own unique look, and more items to fill the room to increase its prestige. And the main aspect of micromanagement of your hospital is also more engaging, as there's a lot less waiting around for things to happen. For the most part here, you'll be occupied with something, whether it's managing where your staff are and ensuring they're in the right place to make sure patients are seen to, training your staff or researching new illnesses and rooms, organising the maintenance of the machines, bins, toilets, and keeping your hospital clean or making sure patients' needs are met. There was very little time where I found myself with nothing to do. But even in those moments, it's still entertaining to watch life in your hospital play out, and the smoother, more cartoony art style and animations give a distinct feel that's very satisfying to watch. One of the best aspects of Theme Hospital's charm was discovering all the unique, strange, and hilarious illnesses and seeing how each of them would be cured in their own over-the-top and unique way. And 2 Point Hospital certainly carries on this charm, as you'll be treating more bizarre diseases than ever, such as lightheadedness, chest infection, Mockstar, Grey's Anatomy, animal magnetism, the list goes on. And watching each of these treatments and cures being played out is just as satisfying as ever. On top of the amount the game gives you to manage, staff will also give you challenges such as treating a certain amount of patients in a certain time or increasing the hospital's attractiveness, for example. But more importantly, it's these kind of challenges that earn you Kudos. This particular currency allows you to buy more items for your hospital and its rooms. And as well as these items being more aesthetically pleasing, they also serve a function. They can keep patients from getting bored or hungry, making them more happy, or they even increase the chance of successful treatment in rooms and speeding up training and research. And at the same time, the increased amount of more special items and visually appealing items in a room makes staff feel more important and improves their performance as a result. The game will even change things up for you in certain levels by creating certain circumstances for you to work around, such as a university hospital where you're only given medical students who all need to be trained, or running a public hospital where the only way to earn money is by completing challenges. Even better is that, unlike Theme Hospital, you can return to your previous levels with all the extra rooms and features that you have unlocked to improve on those past hospitals. And while this may seem like quite a lot to deal with and think about, trust me, it really isn't. Yes, this is a micromanagement based game, but it never gets to the point where it's overcomplicated or overwhelming. It never bombards you with problems to solve. Kind of, well, I'll get to that in a minute, but it will let you take things at a steady pace. Even a lot more of the nitty-gritty features such as charts and statistics can be ignored for the most part and won't get in the way. Okay, so now when I said that the game never bombards you with problems, it doesn't, as long as you keep on top of things. However, 2 Point Hospital suffers from a similar problem Theme Hospital had, and that's balance of things later on in the game. Now, I get it, as the game goes on, it should get more progressively challenging, but in 2 Point Hospital there's a problem where the game throws quite a lot at you at once in the later levels. So much so to a point where it makes it very hard to manage it, and as a result it can spiral out of control very quickly and become near impossible to fix, and it seems like there's nothing you can do about it. For example, in the later levels when you start off your hospital, you'll mostly be fine, but as the level goes on, your hospital will get more busy and become quite crowded with a lot of patients and a lot of different illnesses. In order to diagnose diagnose and treat the variety of diseases, you'll need more diagnosis and treatment rooms. And many conditions require a specific treatment room, which need a lot of time devoted to them to be researched before you can unlock them, and all of this costs a lot of time and money. And in order to manage these rooms, you'll need a lot of staff, which also costs money to hire and pay. On top of that, some rooms require certain staff to be trained in a specific field, so you have to train them, which costs more money. And it also means one less staff member seeing to the patients, causing longer queues and more patients to crowd in your hospital. As a result, patients will end up getting angry and even dying, and this damages your hospital's reputation, and staff will become angry and fuck up more, and it all just goes on. And it all goes to shit, and it feels like there's nothing you can do to remedy this, as realistically you'll never have enough money to ensure you have the large amount of rooms and staff your hospital needs without going into debt. This happened to me a lot in later levels, and it really kills your fun and just becomes frustrating. And I don't know, maybe I am just crap at managing, and I had it on the normal difficulty, and despite retrying these later levels a couple times, I just got the same result, and I'm kinda stumped on how to prevent it. But still, regardless, it doesn't detract so much from the game still being wonderfully entertaining when everything is running smoothly and normally, which is most of the time. And of course, the witty, dark comedic charm really heightens the experience, from the PA announcements, staff personality, wacky diseases, and charismatic graphics and animations. And all this is wrapped around engaging, easy to grasp, yet never too overbearing micromanagement gameplay, and it all adds up to create a worthy successor to Theme Hospital and improving on it in most aspects and still retaining its own unique charm and feel. And yes, I know this game isn't for everyone. Hell, if anything, it feels like it was made specifically for people who have played Theme Hospital, considering how similarly it plays. But that's certainly not a bad thing, and I hope this game only succeeds in igniting a chain of similar spiritual successors. And with that, I will give 2 Point Hospital an 8 out of 10. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. Like and subscribe if you feel like it, and I'll see you next time.